So I just showed you my square splits, so the square split police can calm down. There's another position you need to stretch in your splits, especially if you do ballet. And even if you do rhythmic, because I stretched this position when I did rhythmic, and I understand that the square split people are coming for us. But your knee here face side, and you're split like that. This is a completely different stretch than a square split. And it's a completely different feeling. I'm not saying you should stretch your splits like this instead of a square split. I'm saying also. Why? Because it stretches this whole area over here and your hip. Like, I can only describe when I turn my shoulders square to the front leg but leave my hip in that turned out position, I feel this whole other stretch throughout my groin and up into my hip. And this is that turned out back leg position that you need, especially in ballet. But if you have this position in rhythmic, it also opens up other, range of motion in some of your elements. And when we're talking about side inclination, middle split leap, penché, even just normal side extension, back split positions, kicking your back leg in leaps, it's so valuable to be flexible in this position as well as this position. So don't be afraid because the square split police are going to come and get you. You don't have to only stretch your split square. Now, if you sit like this in your split with your back leg off the side, bent like this so that you can go down, that's not what I'm talking about, right? We're talking about the leg is fully straight. You might have to sit off your split even more to get this stretch where you might be at. You might be sitting well off your split in order to get that stretch. I worked on this a lot to be able to do it while sitting directly over my front hip. But if you have to, and I'll show it facing the camera, you could be sitting off like this in order to stretch here and trying to work towards bringing it on top of your split. The square split is here, right? And this split is here, but it's totally a different stretch. Just try it. Try it when the square split police is not watching you. I'm kidding, but if you've watched a lot of split advice online, people are just utterly obsessed with square splits. And there's nothing wrong with square splits. You should be working on being square. You absolutely should. And crossing your arms can help as well. But just don't be afraid of this, because this is so helpful for a different level of flexibility and more range within your flexibility. And then people ask me, yeah, how do you do your split transition without moving your legs? Well, that's how I do my split transition without moving my legs, is I stretch like that. So I stretch that halfway in between position that go from here, 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 and then my middle split is there, and then the other hip exactly the same position to leave the leg there when you change the split. So if you worked on that, you will be able to do your split transition better. And why should you care about being able to do split transition? It's not just a fun little trick. It helps with your elements. It helps gonna do side extension. It helps with, stuff like side extension, but it also helps with the back leg in all of your jumps, leaps. So a couple more here to finish. Side extension. Okay, so at this point, your level of flexibility is here. You should absolutely sit like this. Do not do whatever this. Just be honest where you are. It's fine to be here. And it's good to be there. You should stretch where you are. Always stretch where you are. Bow and arrow position, I get a lot of this because people really want to be able to grab the leg. The reason you should stretch like this with your chest open is so that when you go like this, you won't have to do this to have an ugly position because you want to be able to grab your leg. The reason you should do this also, stretch, is so your back down here will be open enough to not have to raise your knee up like this and bring it forward like this to be able to grab your leg. You'd be able to open it, right? And that's another reason why you should stretch like that. Okay, on to figure 4 stretch. Go back to more stretches that are really hard for me. This stretch is very, very difficult for me. I feel a lot of discomfort in it. I know there are some people I've met who can just stack knees on top and flat and lay down and like not feel a stretch. I met a girl recently who does like no problem for her. She would just stack the leg here. This knee is all the way down, this leg all the way down. She just lays forward and she told me she doesn't feel any stretch. And I was like, wow. Well, this is very, very lucky because as far as having turnout and open hips, it's very challenging position for most people. Some people are able to overcross, right? That position is very painful for me. I'm not going to be demonstrating it. Unfortunately, I can't do it. It's very, very painful. It's not a stretch. It's like a pain. So I keep my legs like this. Maybe I'm hoping someday I'm going to get to the point where I can cross my leg all the way over. I did used to be able to, and it was okay. But, you know, again, you have to just kind of stretch where you are and try to be patient and work. And consistency is key because it's easy to cheat and kind of be like, well, I want to get further, so I'll just do, you know, something kind of cheating to get there. It's not a good idea to cheat to get there. I think the last thing we should look at is some oversplits and talk about oversplits. But yeah, oversplits.